like beer and like linebacker. NFL draft 2026 deep in linebacker, like bear poop deep. It's your boy C-Mo the C Mitchell checking in with another Bird Bath ATL. Shout out to all the real ones. Everyone who's liked and subscribed, make sure you hit that notifications bell. We're going to hop right into it today, man. The Falcons recently have had comments about Matt Ryan, as well as Ian Cunningham, that are a little bit telling, which we'll get into in a second. And also, the Falcons have a few prospects that I really like that they should go after in the draft, just in my humble opinion. But we'll start our news off with Matt Ryan's comments recently and some of the comments of Ian Cunningham. Recently on the Unbuttoned podcast, they asked Matt Ryan what his thoughts were about Tua and his comments on Michael Penix, where they thought that both of them were at. He said that he liked a lot of the progress that Michael Penix had over the last couple of years. He didn't have a lot of starts, but he was starting to really have some games that were coming along really strong, but he'd like to see him be a little bit more stable and a little bit more consistent, and that he had an injury that was, detrimental to his success, but it was also a thing that was had become a thing for him, actually. Something that had become a reoccurring thing for him, if you will. And they asked him what drew them toward signing Tua. Matt Ryan said that when he first went to go get Tua, he expressed to him that he wanted the quarterback room to be one of the most competitive groups on the team, and that he believes that a little bit of competition or friendly competition would be great for Michael Penix. And he stressed the need to have two guys that were wanting to compete, but that once the decision was made, that you could play your position and play your part. Now, just in my humble opinion, I don't feel like it really matters who the Falcons quarterback is this year. And when they asked Matt Ryan where Tua would kind of land at on the chart, they told him, he told them that would be up to Kevin Stefanski. Now, Stefanski recently made comments saying that, getting fired from somewhere puts a chip on your shoulder and makes you have something to prove. He felt as though he had something to prove, and he felt as though Tua had something to prove. Now, those comments alone kind of give me the idea that Tua does have the edge. But again, like I said, I don't think it really matters who the quarterback is this year. I think that this team is really set to be able to run the ball and play good defensive sound football. And regardless of who is out there, Stefanski is going to try to simplify the playbook enough that he doesn't ask his quarterback to do too much, and he doesn't want to go with the quarterback as the central game plan, and he doesn't want to try to win it on the shoulders of either of the quarterbacks that are available right there. I believe we're going to get a heavy dose of Bijan Robinson this year, and honestly, I think it's only fitting that Tua kind of has the edge at quarterback right now, because he's really the only healthy quarterback that really is on the roster right now. I mean, Trevor Siemian is going to beat him out, and by all means, he seems to be the most accurate guy that we have there and the best chance of being able to play right now. Now, I do believe that this competition is going to open things up for Michael Penix a lot more, and by the end of the season, I believe that Michael Penix will be the starting quarterback. Whether he takes over the job or by Tua, making mistakes in a combination of him being good, or just by way of Tua getting hurt again. I don't wish any type of ill will or pain on anybody, any type of injuries on anybody, but Tua has been known to get hurt. So I do believe that Michael Penix is on track, as Matt Ryan said. But moving on, they recently asked Ian Cunningham his thoughts about whether he would be open to trading Kyle Pitts, or whether he was going to still be trading Kyle Pitts. And he said that it's his job to make this team better, and that he would keep options open. But Kyle Pitts and both Ian Cunningham and the team have both said that they want to make this work, that they want to have Kyle Pitts here in Atlanta. I just think it's all the more better for this team if they could keep Kyle Pitts in an Atlanta uniform. Tight ends are the best friends of a quarterback. I think that if Penix's development is going to take the next level, he's going to need a viable option at tight end. And Tua, he's not necessarily a deep ball guy, so he likes to throw to the tight end as well himself. And I believe that it's going to open up a lot more intermediate and a lot underneath. I think that it just gives you a lot of different options of which you can do out there between having Drake London and Kyle Pitts, especially with Jahan Dotson being able to stretch the field. I think that we have, you know, different layers and levels of what we could do with this offense. And as I've said several times, and by the video that I've linked in the description, Kyle Pitts gives you a matchup nightmare. He gives you a problem and just a lot of headaches for a defensive coordinator. You don't really know what to attack or where to stop them at when you have Kyle Pitts out there. He's too fast for linebackers, too big for defensive backs most of the time, even your safeties. There are very few, tight ends in the league who bring what he brings to the table. And if any of what Stefanski has done over the last few years in Cleveland with his tight ends between Austin Hooper and, I forget the kid's name, Hashim Fannin, as well as David Njoku, is any indication of what they're going to be able to do with this, with their tight ends. I think that Kyle Pitts is set for another breakout year, maybe topping his total in touchdowns, receptions, and even yards as well this year. I think we're going to get a heavy dose of play action, which, again, I think will really suit not only Tua, but Michael Penix. Both of those guys do thrive and excel at those aspects of their game. It just opens up the play action a lot better, or opens up the deep ball when you have play action a lot better for Penix. And just in my humble opinion, that is his number one attribute right there. So I think it would be to the Falcons' best interest to make sure that they have due diligence of cultivating that part of his game. Now, we're going to get into real quick a few of the different draft prospects that I like at linebacker. As I said, this draft is really heavy with linebacker play. And it's one of the best linebacker drafts that they've had in quite a while. Before we get into that, though, shout out to the chat, to the homie Trenton, Houston, 12 hours till the reveal. Oh, the jersey reveal. I'll be honest with you, I really don't give a damn what the jerseys look like. But tomorrow I will, at 10 a.m., be going live for the jersey reveal. So make sure that you guys hit that notifications bell. If you've liked and subscribed and you haven't already, make sure you hit the notifications bell. And if you haven't hit the like and subscribe, go ahead. Join the Bird Bath family over here, man. We don't judge. There's no stupid questions, no stupid comments. But yeah, I don't give a damn how the jerseys look, just to be honest with you, as long as we go out here and win. But you guys let me know what you think about the jerseys so far below in the chat. They've already done a little bit of a miniature leak already so far. But moving on, without further ado, I definitely want to get into some of my thoughts of some of the draft prospects that we have. Like I said, I think linebacker, and this isn't just my thinking, it's been said by a lot of different pundits or whatnot that this is one of the deepest middle linebacker drafts that there's been so far. And of course, we've got Anthony Hill as a person who I like. We've got Bryce Bocher. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. And we've got Jake Galde. Now, one of my favorites so far has been Jacob Rodriguez. I did in my previous video, I did some breakdowns of him in the cornerback from Washington State, that's 6'4", and I kind of like both of those guys as some of our prospects that we could potentially draft this year. Specifically Jacob Rodriguez, because he's a guy that was a converted quarterback to linebacker prior to coming to college, or in his first couple years of college. And I feel as though guys like that are very cerebral. They see the game at a different level. But Galde is one of those linebackers that just really fits the build of an every down prototypical linebacker. He's 6'4", 240 pounds. He's a guy that I think he runs like a 4.5 40. But when you look at him on tape, he really pops off in a way that seems as though he plays a lot faster than that 4.5 40 that he recorded at the combine. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's about maybe 22 years old. Still a bit young. He plays great in space. They play him a lot in the nickel. They played him a lot in the nickel this over the past couple years now. He goes to Cincinnati, but he's really good at blocking, shedding blocks, and getting off his blocks, and a pretty good open field tackler, if you will. Somewhat of a ball hawk. He does get a little bit lost in some of his pass coverage or whatnot, but I think that he's one of those guys that attacks the line of scrimmage and attacks blockers ferociously. He wants to hit and he likes the contact. And that's what I love about all these guys that we have here. But he's one of those guys that if he can get to you, he'll try to take your head off. And I just want to show you a few of the plays of why I like him so much. Now, also keep in mind, he was a converted edge guy. He's played that outside linebacker position, so he's pretty good with his pass rush as well too. But you can move him all over the formation, and I really believe that Ulbrich likes that versatility and multiplicity, and that kind of gives us a little bit of what we had with Caden Ellis. So, without further ado, I mean, just look at the way he sheds his blocks and he gets off of them right there, though. I mean, right here at the point of contact. And in the league, you're going to see a lot of this formation or a lot of them spreading out. Now, this looks as though this is a tight end or a big receiver, but it's a guy in space, and they're going to try to get players like him out of position. But look, attacks the outside shoulder, extends. He's got good arm reach, and he just jacks that guy up, gets rid of him fast, and is able to make the tackle right there. Now, great size, and I think is an every down linebacker. I think that he can and definitely will get better at pass coverage in this league. But there's a lot to really like about this kid. Again, playing in space, over the slot, takes his drops. He's got really fluid hips. Now, this play, you don't really see him come into the picture quite the way that you'd want. But that just shows you his depth and how he can play and how he moves so fluidly. To be a guy so big, I mean, again, 6'4", 240-something pounds. I think he may have lost a little bit of weight for the combine. But I really like what he does. Again, playing in space. He's a guy that could really serve us very well. I mean, he gets under that block right there. Again, not afraid of the contact. And if we look at this formation, now, they're in shotgun. I believe that he's a guy that you could keep on the field, again, on all three downs. They weren't afraid to play him out there in the nickel over slot receivers. I don't think he's going to be covering a lot of those guys, but it allows some multiplicity and versatility in case you do get caught with your pants down, especially if they want to move tight ends out into that as a big slot. And he sees the ball. He diagnoses it quickly. He actually probably should have taken that on with his inside arm, but he's got the recovery speed to get over there and the length to be able to make those type of tackles that you'd want from your outside linebacker or an inside linebacker. I think he could play both ways. But in today's NFL, if you're in nickel and you're playing off-ball linebacker, it really doesn't matter if you're, an outside or an inside guy if you're playing off-ball. And we'll just run this back just a little bit more again. Again, playing in space. Diagnosis the play. A little bit slower than you like, but just watch his closing speed. Look at where he is right here. And look at where the running back is. He's able to get to him pretty quickly. I like him as a potential prospect. I'm not sure what round they're expecting him to go in. And again, you got trips over here to this side. And this is where you got Galladay. From a wide alignment back here, off ball, and closes and catches this guy right at the line of scrimmage. I mean, those are the type of things that we're going to need out of our linebackers. And I don't believe, look, gets rid of that, gets off of that block, and is able to get over there to him. Now, he can get pushed around a little bit sometimes, but again, I like what we have out of him specifically with our linebacker position. If we can actually get him, I'm going to tap in and do a couple more comments from the chat real quick, and then we'll hop back into our film study breakdown a little bit more. Trent says, am I going to do any of the 404 day events? They say they got free jerseys. I do plan on doing some of the 404 day events. I will be out and around in the city, and I'm probably going to do something. Also, you're talking about Harold Landry. I'm with it. He said that guy Galladay, or however you spell it, got me fired up on the first clip. That's football. That's one of the pressure guys, Terry would say. Definitely, I think he's a guy that allows you to be able to pressure quarterbacks from all over the formation, which is kind of why I like the other two guys that I was talking about as well too. Now, Justin Jefferson from Alabama, I think that he'd be quite a steal in the draft. I don't believe that he's expected to go in the first 2 rounds at all. I believe that they're expecting him to be maybe a day 3 guy, 4th, maybe 5th or 6th round. Now, he could easily go in the 3rd round as well too. But I want to just hop into a little bit of film study on him as well. Now, he's a smaller guy, 6'1", 200 and maybe 20-something pounds. But don't tell him that. He doesn't think he's 220-something pounds, because he plays like he's one of those big boy thumpers, and he will come downhill, and hit you hard. Now, he's a little bit older than other guys. I had a hard time finding his exact age. I think he's maybe somewhere between 23 and 25 years old, maybe even 26. He's played quite a bit of football. But there was a joke that the only problem with him is that he won't be the best Justin Jefferson in the NFL. But 4'5", 40 guy, plays a lot faster than that, can move in space like a safety. And that's what I like about all these guys. All these guys can move really fluidly out there in space. But he's a bit of a ball-hawking guy. Not afraid to hit. Not afraid to hit. He does it against SEC competition. And these are his 2024 highlights. I'll show a couple of them, but we'll get into his 2025 highlights. Now, right here, he's playing as a off-ball middle linebacker, off the line of scrimmage. Sees it, diagnoses it, gets in there quickly. Now, there's a lot. He's improved a lot in his tackling. These are some of the reasons that I really like him. I'm going to show you one more from his 2024. Again, he's a true 3-down linebacker. Gets out in space. A guy that I'll show a little bit of tape on as well that I didn't name or mention was Anthony Hill. Now, he is a guy that kind of has a tendency to kind of olay his blockers a little bit, and I don't like that. But that's what I really love about these first 3 guys I'm going to get into. Jake Galladay, he's not afraid to attack at the point of contact, but Bryce Bocher, or however I say his name, and Justin Jefferson are 2 guys who really love the contact. They're going to come up and thump. Gets in passing lanes, 6'2". I think he's like, maybe he's 6'1", but just a really athletic guy right here. Sees it, reads the eyes, gets his hands up in space. A patient guy. Reads it. They try him. They try to get it just over his head. Look at how he got the build and the size that Jeff Ulbrich likes. Now, he does like his linebackers a little bit taller, but he likes those smaller, speedy linebackers or guys that can really move in space very well. And that's one thing that I really like about Justin Jefferson is he's not afraid to thump, and he's really strong for his size. Now, I don't think that he's a guy that can always take on running backs at the point of contact, but just look at how fast he closes, man. Inside out, keeps the ball on the inside, attacks it from the inside out, keeps his body on the inside hip of the running back, and uses the sideline and the other defenders to his advantage. Doesn't let them outrun him, but great open field tackler, and he moves in space and short area quickness very fast. And I think that's going to be something that's huge for the Falcons. We're missing that with Caden Ellis gone. And honestly, he brings a different element that Caden Ellis doesn't have. He's almost like a smaller Divine Diablo, if you will. Okay, so right here, a little bit less of a straight-up traditional linebacker in this alignment right here, and I'd like to move him around in space a lot. But look at this play right here. Walked up on the line of scrimmage. And with these mobile quarterbacks, sometimes we'll send guys on blitzes. Everything isn't always pretty. He's got really good vision. There's a little trouble could definitely cause trouble for your quarterbacks. Athletic guy. Deceptive speed. Not afraid to play with them in space for certain. Right here in the middle of the formation. And again, one of the best parts is that he's playing big boy SEC football. He's playing against linemen. Had a good game against UGA as well. Look at that closing speed. Juked out too often. Just a really good open field tackler. Right here again. And again, not afraid to walk him out, keep him out of the box. And I think that the Falcons will probably do a lot of that if we were able to get him, if he's still there. And he's a guy that we can get later in the draft. But look at how he reads and diagnoses. I mean, that's a screen. That can give linebackers a little bit of issue in space sometimes. I've seen Caden Ellis miss that play sometimes. Right here. Sees it, gets to it real fast. Really hard for those guys to really block him. And that's something I really like about him. We'll come back to a couple more plays about him. But the kid, Bryce Bocher. Now, one thing I like about Bryce is he was also a baseball player, and he was drafted by the Astros. He played center field. 4'6", 40 guy, but he plays a lot faster than that. Not quite the same thumper as those other guys, but really he wants to tackle. He wants to hit. He's not coming down hill trying to necessarily land a knockout blow on you, but he wants to make contact, and he's really good at shedding blocks and getting rid of the blocks pretty quickly. And he can play in space. And again, another guy who's a 3-down linebacker, also a ball hawk himself in his own right. Plays a lot faster than that 4'6", 40. I mean, he kind of moves on tape like he's a 4'5" guy, though. Look at where he lines up right here. And this is another reason why I like him. He brings an element to the table that Caden Ellis brings, because he could also blitz, but he diagnoses plays very fast. Slightly undersized, again. He's a guy that's not quite as undersized, though. 6'1", 230 pounds. Not bad metrics for a linebacker. 23 years old. Again, like I say, reads it fast, sees it fast, can be a bit of a ball hawk. Seems like he could use a few more reps in pass coverage, but I don't think that's anything that's a surprise. A lot of times linebackers, they're not always your best coverage guys. I think he's comfortable with it, but I think they'll get him the more reps for it. But again, he is a true 3-down backer. A little bit of a tweener. Not as much of a straight-up inside linebacker as Justin Jefferson is, but watch. I mean, he is not afraid to play in space, and they're not afraid to play him in space. because of the speed that he has and how well he can close. Sees ball, gets ball. Played at Oregon. Look, almost gets him a pick right there. This play starts in the middle of the formation and just scrapes and flows. Not going to have a problem if they try to run straight at him. Inside out. And just closes deceptively fast. Again, 4.6 40 guy, ran under a 4.5, ran under a 4.7. I think 4.61 is an alleged time. I think he's gotten somewhere close to a 4.5, but again, really love how he's able to play in space. You got nickel right here. Kind of like trips. You got this offset tight end right here, one running back. And again, he's playing out here in space. Outside in, you got to love that. You see how he takes on this blocker right here? Keeps that outside arm free like I told you, and makes that tackle. Really strong guy. Now, Justin Jefferson's really strong for his size, but this guy's just strong in general. Plays with his hair on fire, man. Not always the thumping guy, but pretty sure tackler. Right here. A little bit of a more outside alignment, but play develops, reads the screen, able to split the defenders and makes the tackle right here. Starts off in the middle of the formation, diagnoses the play. We'll run it back just a little bit. Starts off in the middle of the formation, diagnoses things. Look at how he's able to recover. Got a little help out there from his friends, but again, outside in, really good tackler. Forces a fumble right there. And I mean, he will get into passing lanes. He will definitely get into your passing lanes. Just always around the ball. Always around the ball. Always finds a way. Again, I mean, he was a center fielder. This here, Chick-fil-A Bowl, I believe this is against Indiana. And they got blown out, but still made plays, though. Comes downhill, likes to make those tackles. And look, this is him lining up at quarterback in the Wildcat, taking a direct snap. Gotta love those type of guys right here. A little trickery. But takes the snap, just runs it directly in for the touchdown. A little Mike Vrabel in his blood. Here's another one against Washington. Or is it Washington State? But he hits in the scrum, doesn't keep his feet, doesn't stop his feet, keeps it moving, runs through defenders, runs through blockers, can meet your running backs at the point of contact. Doesn't olay blockers. He likes the contact. But he's not trying to go for kill shots. He's just trying to get you down on the ground in the most effective way. Patient. There's some things that you could like about him more. And I'm not sure exactly where he's expected to go. I think in the top 3 rounds he's expected. But, again, another guy that I like. Now, I'm going to tap in with you guys real quick. Again, we're going to check out a few more of these comments. And then I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what I like about Anthony Hill. Moo Grant says, my guys just tapping in 100. Salute to you, homie. Trent says Hill is a freakish athlete. He is worth the tape. I think he played quietly compared to Rodriguez, but he was one of the 5-star recruits. He has probably higher upside than Rodriguez, in my opinion, and I agree. He is Hill is one of those is a really freakish athlete, just a playmaker in general. Again, my only qualm with him is kind of sometimes he's so fast he can run around defenders. And he probably does that a little bit more than you would like him to do. Sometimes you want a guy to come in there kamikaze style and put their shoulder in your chest and thump a little bit more and take on those blockers. You want a guy who's going to hit those guys. And for that reason, again, Justin Jefferson is one of those guys that if I got to put him on a bunch of pulling guards, that's not his game. Hill has a little bit more of that size because he's 6'2", 238 maybe, kind of close to Divine Diablo's size and build. Probably plays a little bit fast, or might be a little bit faster, a little bit more of a playmaker. But I'll show you a little bit of his tape, and here he goes right here. Middle of the formation. And, I mean, he's all over the field, man. He's a freakish athlete. I think he's definitely going to go in this second round. He's one of those guys, though, that is a little bit scary from the standpoint that I think he could do like how the linebacker from Green Bay did, where he didn't, where they drafted him and he didn't quite pan out exactly the way you wanted at first. It took him a little bit of time to kind of get into his own. Still a really raw player, but can be a 3-down linebacker for you and can play right away, potentially. But look at, he gets into those passing lanes, hits. If he's not right there, I mean, they call that a forced fumble right there. You got him right here. And I just like how fast he plays. Diagnosis plays. It's almost like when he comes downhill, he's almost one of those guys that will, he kind of jukes out the blocking defenders. This is Steve Hightower right here. You guys stay tuned after the show. We're gonna start another sports show that's also about just sports in general, not just the Falcons. Hightower, man, I'm in the middle of the podcast, but we still set to go on after this.
All right, so let's do it. I got some things I got to run to do. All right,
cool. Hurry back, though. All right, peace. Yeah, you guys tune in after this. We got a new sports show we're going to start called The Distinguished Fan. I think it's something like that. The Distinguished Fanatic. But me and Hightower, we're going to get into some Towerisms. We're going to give tiers of different players in the league, and we're also going to go into our all-time top 10 running backs of all time as well, too. And we'll be consistently doing this, almost like a nightcap type of deal. Also, you guys let me know if you be interested in hopping into a Madden tournament. We're looking at starting a Madden tournament very soon and kind of having a few different tournaments. Madden, NCAA, as well as NBA 2K. So I want you guys to drop comments for me if you'd be down to join some of these tournament plays. But again, just jumps off the screen. I really like Hill a lot. I don't think we're going to be able to get him. And honestly, I think cornerback and wide receiver is a little bit more of a necessity because Troy Anderson still could potentially come into his own. And I like where we are with Christian Harrison as well, too. So potentially. You got your boy right here. He's just so fast. Change the direction. Not afraid to thump, though. Trying to be violent when he gets there. And that's what I like about all these linebackers that we're doing tape on. Right here, you got him right here in the middle of the line of scrimmage. And that's a very Jalen Walker type of attribute that he has going for him. You know how quick he gets to the quarterback. Just really hard to block. You don't think Olbrich would do something good with him, man? You guys let me know what you think about. Tell me who your favorite linebacker is out of all these guys that we're talking about right here, right now, though. And we'll go back just a little bit. Now, I know it's just Vanderbilt, this game right here, but it's still SEC football. But you got him right over here. He's got that type of speed that you could kind of athleticism that you can move him all over the formation. But chases down quarterbacks, man, can be a necessity, can be an asset in everything that you do out there with him. At linebacker. Texas against UGA right here. Again, big boy football playing against one of the best offensive lines in the league. And you guys all know about Anthony Hill, so I'm not saying anything new to some of you guys. But look at how he just gets into those passing lanes, man. You gotta love the way he's able to take his pass drops. Just looks really natural. I think he's a little bit less comfortable doing that, but has the speed and athleticism to do it. I think he's quite the pass defender that, say that Bocher was, or even Justin Jefferson is, or even Rodriguez is. That's right now is my favorite linebacker out of college. Even though I think that your boy Hill is rated a little bit better. I'm not even looking at Mr. UGA because he's not going to be available. But look at how he's able to get into those lanes. You got your boy right here. Heavy bunched up formation, short yardage. Downhill fast, meets the running back in the backfield. And that was a little bit of an issue for us sometimes in short yardage situations, especially once Divine Diablo wasn't out there. But losing Caden Ellis, I think all these guys bring an element to the defense that Caden didn't have as a more short open field tackler. Even though Caden's good at that, you gotta send Caden on a lot of different stunts and twists and blitzing him a lot. Whereas these guys could probably do a little bit more reading and reacting, and probably a little bit better athletes as well too. Here he goes. Running back out of the backfield, closes on it quickly. But he can do a lot of the things that you want to see out there. Now, there are a few other guys out here in the draft that I also like. Josiah Trotter, son of Jeremiah Trotter. He's also a pretty good potential look at linebacker. Now, all these guys that I've shown you so far are pretty good versus the run, and they're solid in space as against the pass. Trotter, not so much. He's a little bit more of a straight up downhill linebacker, and most of all of his plays are mostly plays that are just really against the run. And I'll show you just a few plays of him. Yeah, they're hitting us with a few of those. Ads, but I think I might have been off of that when I was showing you Hill. But we'll go back to Hill a little bit. Hill's got crazy athleticism. And then we'll get into a little bit more Trotter. I think that Olbrich would definitely have a field day with this kid, though. That being said, I'm going to pull up a little bit of Trotter. I think he does give up a little bit of something in the passing game. And that's my bad, as you said, Trent. You guys froze up a little bit, so I'm going to show you a little bit more of Hill as well, too. Sorry about that, fellas. That's my bad. Violent at the point of attack. Plays out here in space. Able to jump those underneath routes. Gotta love that type of play from your linebackers. Anytime the guys are able to play that comfortably in space, love it. We'll get over here to Trotter right now. Not the biggest fan. Is an every down linebacker, but he's all over the field, man. Very aggressive player. Now, I think he's more around 6'1" as well, and he's more of a rundown linebacker. But I mean, he's so good at what he does. Sheds blocks and is able to hit those guys at the point of contact. Now, sometimes he can get bossed, he can get punked around a little bit, but I mean, he takes after his father for sure. Shed blocks, able to make that play in the backfield. Short yardage type situations, goal line. Very reliable tackler. Now, sometimes I don't like that he can kind of go underneath his linemen, the linemen that are trying to block him, as opposed to taking them square up and head on. But diagnoses things good, and he played in the SEC. I mean, for what it's worth, to me, that's always something. When you play in the SEC, it's huge. Play like right here. Not afraid to mix it up, man. I mean, I really like him as a player, but again, if I could go with somebody more like Hill, or if we could get Jacob Rodriguez, or someone like Bo, I'm saying his name wrong, but Bryce Bocher. I'd really like to get him. Galday. These are all guys that I'm pretty excited about. So you guys let me know in the comments who you guys are really with a little bit more, though. Who would you prefer out of all these guys? Trenton says Trotter wasn't the big sexy name, kind of underrated, but he came in as a freshman, I believe, at WVU, and was immediately the best player on the defense as a freshman. WV West Virginia is still a D1. And yeah, now he just think ended up at Missouri. So really like what he's been able to do out there. Like you said, still D1, high-end program. That's kind of what I like about Galday. Played at Cincy as well too, as well as Bocher, man. I mean, Oregon. I mean, all these guys played at big-time, big boy programs. But Galday's, I'm really excited about Galday. I'd be delighted if we could get him. You guys stay tuned. That's our show for today. We will continue to do more breakdowns for the draft. I am specifically going to be going live at the draft party. We'll do a live stream from the draft party at Tilted Kilt down in Buckhead. If you're here in Atlanta, make sure you tap in with us. Love to have you guys come out, come hop on the show, say what's up to us in person, man. It's one of my frenemies throwing that. He is a Bucks fan, but knows football like no other. I've done fantasy football with him before as well. He's gonna have a few of his peoples out there getting on the mic on the Bird Bath as well too. But also, like I said, let me know in the comments if you guys are rocking with the Madden tournaments. That's something that I am looking to crank up really soon. I appreciate you guys rocking with us through our technical difficulties. Tomorrow I will be at it bright and early. 10 a.m. is the Jersey Reveal. Tap in. We'll have a live stream show. We will talk to you guys at the same time and get your thoughts on the Jersey Reveal. Again, I don't care as long as we win, as long as we're playing good football this year. But I want to get you guys' thoughts on what you think about the Jersey Reveals as well too. Stay tuned, man. We are about to, right after this, go into dropping a show with Hightower. We'll be talking Towerisms, basically his different tiers of NFL players out here in the league right now. And we're going to also kind of give our thoughts on the top 10 running backs as well too. So chime in with us on that as well on Point Game Official. It's your boy C-Mo to C. Mitchell checking out for the Bird Bath ATL and Point Game Official. Also, Moo Grant says, I'm down with the Madden. Just let me know. Hey, if I can get 20 to 50 people, I really like where we'd be at with being able to do that. But you guys let me know. Drop an M in the chat if you're down for the Madden. Deuces.